No, I didn't put them on. Wondered what I was missing. I knew I was missing something.
Couldn't hear yourself talk.
No, that's better.
All right.
There we go. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Yep. You got anything to start out with?
Do I got anything to start? People are rude. Some people are rude, but the people at St. Clair Hospital are very nice.
Okay. We'll start there.
Okay.
You're listening to the podcast where we talk about life, sports, family, and everything in between. Welcome to Just Talking Out Loud with your hosts, Ron and Terry.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Just Talking Out Loud. I'm Ron.
And I'm Terry.
We're happy to be with you as we continue our podcasting journey into it's our third year, which is...
Is it really?
Yeah, it's our third season. Believe it or
Somehow
not.
I thought it was longer.
We're 3 seasons in. And last year was probably, we had done the most, although this is going to probably be the most episodes we've ever done, because depending how we do in the summer, because we usually do a short, some short, and I'm hoping to have more guests on this summer.
I really want to do, like last year we had the idea to do taste testing, and then no one had any of the available, like when we wanted to do the
donuts.
Krispy Kremes, and yeah, we need to figure out where, like, close to us that we can get those things.
Yeah.
So that we could do more of those taste testing things and that.
I don't have my glasses on. I can't see.
Oh.
Because I took my contacts out. So I'd like to, look
Well,
at
how are you going to read your papers then?
Oh, no, I can read up close. I can't. I just can't see the timer.
Oh, okay. Well.
It's okay. We're not on a time.
Okay.
We're talking to our friends.
We're just talking out loud.
Yes, exactly. We're talking to our friends that are listening.
So you wanted me to come up with some things to talk about, and today I want to talk about staff at hospitals and when you go into schools and stuff, and how some of them are so rude. If you don't like people, you shouldn't be in that job. I'm like, yeah, I'm just amazed that people keep their jobs when they're so rude to patients and stuff, and say nasty things to them and stuff. It's a wonder they keep their jobs. But I will say today at St. Clair Hospital, the staff was all really, really nice. They knew I was going to have to sit for over an hour, and 3 of them offered me coffee, and can I get you some coffee? Can I get you something? And they came out and told me, how it was going, and just really, really nice staff. And we found that every time we've been at St. Clair, because that's where you had your surgery.
I know we've said this. I've said this, since we began, because we talked about our journey, my journey through having colon cancer and blah, blah, blah. But St. Clair Hospital, by far, from the day, meeting Dr. Nadler, and then having the surgery done.
I mean, within 2 weeks, you were in surgery.
Yeah, but I mean, I've never had anything like that. Being put under, the whole, being cut open and, what is it, a foot or more taken out of my colon. But what I will say is, from, that time, those nurses were unbelievable. And every time I go back for colonoscopy.
Even when you were in the back, like, because you had a procedure to have lights put in there, and then you had another... Like your mom and I were sitting there, we were confused because you were on the board and you went off the board. And I went up to the desk, and it wasn't like I was asking for the board. Sometimes you ask, like when you're getting a test, like, well, what would they do that for or whatever? And they get all mad. Well, why would I know? Yeah. Well, they said, oh, let me see. Let me look at that. Let me look at that. Then that's not the major surgery. That one only took 20 minutes. The next time you see his name on the board, it'll be with this number, and it's going to take over an hour, and they really explained it to me so that I wouldn't, Well,
you're in the unknown.
Yeah.
You don't, when you get some sort of an idea, depending on how many things lead up to the actual surgery, because I didn't really, the catheter and all that other stuff. I was hoping they'd put it in after, which they did. Catheter. But anyway, I want to just curl up in a. I'm crossing my legs now as we speak about the catheter. But the lights and all that stuff they put in, and but you're unknown, so you're looking at the board because that's the information that you're given.
Well, they told me it'd be like an hour and a half in surgery or more, and then you were like up there for 20 minutes, and you were like nowhere. I'm like, okay, so where is it? You were in like a waiting room to get into the surgery. So that procedure went fast, and you were just waiting for him to get done with the previous surgery, and then you went right in.
But, yeah, I was in limbo. Mm-hmm. But no, St. Clair, one of the
all the staff that we've met has been really nice.
Super nice. Every time I go back, every 3 years for that colonoscopy, and then
is that one Tracy still working?
I don't think so.
Office?
No, I didn't see her. But she might be. I didn't. But I didn't see her.
Maybe she's. Yeah. Who knows?
But very nice. If hopefully you don't have to have anything done, but. If there's an option to go to St. Clair,
we say go.
You have our blessing to go there because it is a very good hospital, and the people are just super nice.
Yeah, and if they don't know, they don't like yell at you for asking. Like they just let me check with the doctors,
Yeah.
the nurses in that office and see if anyone can help you with that. They don't like.
Well, I think
how am I supposed to know?
The one thing for me was, going through that. And I know we've talked about this before, and I'm sorry for those of you that have been with us from day one. It was very nerve-wracking. So what I did was this is kind of weird, but I kind of put it in like sections. So it was kind of weird. My thing was, okay, I got up, I had to do that. You had to take that wipe and put over, get in the car. That's section 1. And section 2, get in the waiting room. I'm in the waiting room. Okay, blah, blah. And then section 3 was going back. They prep you. I kind of put it, but every time I'd go, everybody was so reassuring, so nice. Say, hey, it's going to be okay. You're in good hands. He's a great doctor. And at that time, he was very quiet. He didn't really, I want to say he just was quiet. Okay. And,
he probably
he was very matter of fact.
Exactly what he would get into.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he was very matter of fact. This is what we're going to do, and that was it.
They said radical cells, but he didn't know how many were going to be in you when they.
And then it just once we got through all that, and he would come in and say, "I don't have any results yet. Are you okay?" And then he said, "Use the medicine. Just hit the button. I don't care how many times you hit it. It's only going to give you so much anyway." And I didn't want to use the medicine, but. It really was. I could press the button. It wouldn't matter. But then the day before I was going to get out, that's when he told me, there's no cancer and all that. And then we kind of hugged, and then it kind of changed our relationship. He's more talkative. Not that he wasn't. He just, to me, I'm a very, I talk. But some people, doctors want to be certain and matter-of-factly, and, they don't want to. Not that he ever got my hopes up, or he just said this is what could be, this is what we could have to do, but I
mean, they gave you worst case scenario and best, and it ended up best.
But every time, everything that I went, each thing that I had to have done before, these people were just super nice, and they kind of calmed me down. You know what I mean? Kind of calmed the nerves a little bit. So yeah. St. Clair, they got
I don't know how they screen their staff, but their
They're
staff seems to be more calm and more reassuring, more kind than other people's staff.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, that's funny you brought that up. I didn't know if I was going to use this one or not, but you were talking about screening. And this was from HR. It said, this is what makes me instantly reject a candidate during a job interview. So they have some things here. If you're getting ready to interview, you might want to just take some notes. And it's not just typos. It goes deeper than that. There's some typos on resumes. These companies revealed the details that make them reject a candidate. Several recruiters came together and list some of the bizarre interview experiences they've had, including job seekers who actively use AI, like GPT to answer questions. Others named poor hygiene, having distinct body odor, bragging about drinking on night outs as undesirable traits. Yeah, during an interview. And then they're telling them, I went out before the interview. I had a few before I came in. They also reject candidates who brought their parents in interviews. We talked about this. This was something new that.
Well, if your car broke down and you had to have
but
a ride, you don't take them
into the interview.
Yeah, they sit outside in the car. They go to the mall next door.
Some found that a third of recruiters rejected some people after looking at their social media profiles. That's something else we've talked about. You got to be careful what you put on social media. That's for sure.
Yep.
Because they're looking at it.
You are what your friends are. So if your friends put horrible things on and they're on and you can see them on your post, if they go to your site, then that doesn't influence very well with you.
Guilty by association. Mm-hmm. One shared a wild experience with someone who had used AI. She said they did a video interview with a lady who, after a few questions, it was painfully obvious that she was just feeding the questions into ChatGPT and then reading back the answers. Now, if you've ever because sometimes what I've been doing lately, is Terry and I will do a podcast, okay? And I try and keep a note of what we talk about. And then rather than try to write it all out, I'll say, listen, I'll type in, can you give me a title for my podcast and a summary of what we talked about, period. And then I would say, we talked about HR, how they reject. And I would go through, just kind of try to remember what it was. And then it would, boom, instantly come up with this really a lot better phrasing than I would have.
Yeah.
It's been working a lot better for me doing this, but that's not what I would do for an interview. Because sometimes you might ask something, it's going to be really off the wall.
Yeah, like it might not understand what you mean.
Yeah, and and you can tell. She said her answers were rambling essays, defining a key word in the question rather than answering it. I asked her about her proudest accomplishment, and she said some things that people often feel a sense of accomplishment. So what she said was what ChatGPT gave her. Like she said, what are you most proud of? And then she probably put in, what am I proud of? What's most proud of? And then it said, people often feel a sense of accomplishment about, and then you include certain things. She really didn't answer.
She said
she told me nothing about the position, had little confidence in her skills. She would need to be constantly shadowed rather than do the job. And apart from using AI to answer questions, proper etiquette during Zoom interviews is also important. One boss once had someone show up to a Zoom interview not wearing a shirt. How do you get by in life if you're just shirtless all the time, even in an interview?
I mean, in an interview, you don't even have to put pants on because they can't see. Just put a shirt and a tie on.
Just don't stand up.
Shirt and a tie on and stay seated.
Right. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's getting to a point where it's getting hard to you asked a question earlier about
people don't want to dress for anything.
How do people keep their job? And a lot of it's because, there's hard to find replacements.
And people don't even come to work. Oh, I wanted to take yesterday off.
Yeah. Now you're talking about, I don't know if you've done this or not. You might have done this. And I know I've done this a lot. In fact, I did this before. I wish I had the story because I'm going by memory. But you know how you have I had these chest issues. Remember I was telling you, I was like, man, it just feels weird. My chest felt weird. Now the Thursday felt the weird. It felt heavy. And then Friday it wasn't heavy. It was just kind of fluttering, whatever. So what do I do? You look it up on Google.
Yeah.
Google. Dr. Google. You say, this is what I have. And then it tells you. And I did that before my surgery. Okay. This is what they say I have. What are my options? So I go in thinking that they're just going to do like a colonoscopy. This was my thought going in. They're going to go in like a colonoscopy, and what they do is, they kind of rotor it out. Take out it wasn't even close. Not even, so don't, but there were people who were saying that they're Googling a lot of their symptoms before they even go to the doctors to kind of give them an idea.
So what did when you Googled your chest little fluttering?
Well, it would say like, you could have heartburn. Do you have any, if you don't have any pains in down your arm, then it could be stress related, or what was the other thing it said it was? I'm trying to remember. Oh, crud.
Have you had them at all?
No,
again?
Not since I taken one more pill. These, it's not
for your cholesterol,
but it's a natural type thing that she told me to take. I upped one pill, so I take 4 pills a day, 2 and 2. I take 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. And then I've been watching what I eat. So there's candy everywhere where I work. And I have, my hand to the good Lord above. I have not been eating it. And I feel
better.
I don't feel bloated anymore. Just by watching.
Yeah, I know sugar is one of my problems. When I eat a lot of sugar, I get lightheaded. I get foggy-headed. I get ringing in the ears, seems louder. I mean,
don't you think if you tell people, like, if you're not feeling great, then the first thing I would tell you is, how are you eating? Because for some reason, that was what entered my mind was, she asked me if I was stressed. And yeah, maybe I was stressed a little bit with the kids. Nathan not feeling great, Zachary not feeling great. And that might have been part of it. Job, my job changes. Is it going to change? I don't think it's going to. So I've kind of settled that down. But I really felt the first thing I thought was eating. My eating habits. And you know how I eat sometimes at night.
You snack a lot.
I snack. And have you noticed I'll have a bowl of cereal. That's it. I just have those.
A little bit better choices for snacks.
I try to think about, like, for lunch.
Or a piece of fruit. Have a piece of fruit instead of candy or cake or cookies.
I had an apple and an orange today. I usually have an apple and an orange. But I said I don't have them at the same time. I'll have the apple for my lunch. And then midday, I'll do the orange, And it's really I think it's made a big difference for me.
I know sugar is one of my problems.
Yeah,
and that includes bread, because bread turns into sugar in your system. So if you just cut, like a lot of people don't have to cut all sugar out. I seem to do better with very little sugar.
See, we brought this bread home from Napoli's. Matt, we went to our anniversary. It was our anniversary weekend. It was April 20th. This is going to be a little bit later, so I apologize, but this is a little bit later but we went out to eat. And typically when you go out to eat, someone takes you out, but that's not how it works at my family. When you go
There's
out
a
there,
lot
we
going on
pay.
in our family right now.
So I ended up paying. But anyway, which is fine. It was great to see the kids. Anyway.
I hadn't seen them in 3 weeks.
Right. So Zachary had this little bread that she brought later.
She forgot
but he didn't want
his
it.
meal.
So for me, it was up there. I ate it all. So that's not
it's
good.
It's really good. Yeah, but
I know, but even though it was real little.
It was little pieces.
It doesn't matter. It's still bread. It's still sugar.
But if you're not having the cake and the cookies and the candy with it, then you're probably okay with bread.
Well, I didn't want it to.
Where me and weight gain, if I eat, like if I have toast in the morning and a sandwich at noon, then that's 3 to 4 slices of bread. Then I've had too much sugar. I have to cut it down to like 1 piece all day.
Right. But see, my problem is I don't want it to go green.
And no cookies and no cake and no nothing.
I can't have something sitting in the house and it goes green. I feel like we wasted food. That's a problem too for me. I don't want it to go like we got some bread. You bought bread and I want to use it, but I don't want to use it. Because I do like my peanut butter and crackers. I love peanut butter and cracker. I love that.
I love my peanut butter and crackers.
Sometimes I give you your special peanut butter. Terry loves peanut butter. 2 things she loves: bacon and peanut butter. I don't know if she necessarily likes it together at the same time.
I don't think so.
Oh, you ever try it? Peanut butter and bacon? But I was thinking about smothering myself in either bacon or peanut butter. That might turn you on a little bit. What do you think?
I don't know.
Should I try it?
I don't know.
Next episode, Ron turns into Peanut Butter Man just for Terry. See if she'll
have fun with
have fun. But anyway, so that's my issue too, is I want to eat food that's just sitting around. I don't want to go bad, which is not good, but I just don't want to waste. I don't like to waste food, or people that are starving.
I know.
So I don't want to.
And here we as Americans waste more food than other countries even get on their plates,
Okay, so a vasectomy. Boy, what a segue
what
that
brought
is.
that? What brought that?
Well,
on?
it's the next story. I mean, I didn't know how to segue into vasectomies. So we're going to talk about a vasectomy. This guy was getting a vasectomy. Now, if you were getting a vasectomy, what would be a bad time to get a vasectomy?
Right before vacation.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be. But how about when there's
in the middle of the winter when you have to shovel snow? You're not supposed to lift.
You're in the middle of a vasectomy and there's an earthquake.
Oh, wow. That would be bad.
So the doctor says, is that an earthquake? And he said, well, maybe he's just trying to lighten the mood. Justin Allen's 33 years old. He's from Horsham, Pennsylvania. He got a lot of attention on social media because he posted this experience during an earthquake that hit the East Coast. This happened a couple weeks ago with a 4.8, the preliminary magnitude.
I don't remember an earthquake.
This was in the Philadelphia area. It had kind of happened over the East Coast. He said, let's just say it struck while he was in the middle of a very delicate procedure. He had, this was happened on a Friday. It was at 10 o'clock in the morning. He was scheduled at a urology surgery center. And he said, everything started out great. I was thankful to have a surgeon that walked me through every single step of the procedure. And about 10 minutes into the 20-minute surgery, the whole room started to shake. Think about that for a second. He's, you got a doctor down there, down there at the old, let's just say Little Ron. Little Ron's getting the procedure done. And the last thing you want to do is someone say, hey, looks like there might be an earthquake going on. And needless to say, everything was okay. But it was in the middle of a procedure. So he thought he was joking, but he found out he wasn't joking. He was very serious. But everything turned out okay. Little Justin is fine. Shooting blanks, just like I guess he wanted him to do. So congratulations. But think about it. If you're in the middle of a serious operation, the last thing you want to do is be in a tornado, an earthquake, hurricane. I mean, those are just things you don't really want to be in the middle of. So, that's.
Yeah, even the best of doctors can. Yeah. Yeah, could be really. Yeah, right. All it takes is one little, and it's not necessarily his fault, but the hurricane hit, but hopefully wasn't like the guy we talked about that went in for one surgery
and he ended up getting a vasectomy.
Yeah.
I forget, was it gallbladder? I can't remember what the surgery was.
I forget what it was, but he got a vasectomy.
And he got a vasectomy. Yeah, talk about,
the hospital screwed up.
Oh, you're not kidding. And I was trying to find another story about doctors and how they want, doctors are getting older. And they were wondering if they should start testing doctors' reliability or it's not right. Testing their skills. Because as you get older, as you know, we all start to, disintegrate. That sounds bad, but that's probably pretty much it.
But your memory, some people get shaky hands, some people get,
So they were talking about maybe having tests for doctors.
Make sure that they can still do their
when
job
they reach,
well.
When you reach certain age. Not that there aren't doctors that are in their 60s, 70s that are doing great.
Sometimes I've seen them in their 70s still working part-time. That one, was that at St. Clair? I think that was at St. Clair. There was someplace. It might have been at the VA with my dad. He was working part-time at the VA because he was retired, and he really missed working in the people. So he did all the prep.
Here it is.
He did all the explaining to people what the procedures were, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And he just worked part-time, and he said, love it. I love it because I feel like I'm helping people, and I'm working enough that it gives me a little extra. It takes some of the pressure off this office and the doctors, and
Well, I think if you still, you'll know, you would know if you still had the skill or not. But
he wasn't doing the actual surgeries, but he was like getting you scheduled.
Oh, he's like a consultant.
Telling you what you were doing.
Right?
He told you what exactly you were having done.
So he's kind of consulting.
I think it was for my dad's when he had his catheter and all, and he was having that kind of problems. And, would explain to us if this happened, he could have that out, but if it didn't, he would have to have that, and stuff like that. So
they were saying that 40% of doctors are projected to be 65 or older within the next decade. And there's a challenge, how to ensure that these skilled professionals maintain the sharp mind, steady hands needed to safely care for patients. And so they did this paper in the Journal of the American College of Surgeons, and they're offering a roadmap for navigating this issue, saying that they want to support surgeons throughout their careers while always keeping patients being the front and center. They want to make sure that their well-being is taken care of. So there's an idea that assessing a surgeon's ability should be career-long, not something reserved for their golden years, just as commercial pilots undergo evaluations to confirm they can still have the chops to fly. I would want that if I'm in a plane.
Yeah, because you don't know when you have an injury and like go blind in one eye or something. And you know what I mean?
So some people are saying, should surgeons of all ages, don't have to be older, should they receive periodic checkups on their cognitive and technical skills? Like, would that be something, how some people have to do, what do they call that? I don't want to say training.
Teachers have to go training. They have to have hours in for years.
Yeah, so why couldn't you go?
They have to have more credits. And I don't understand. I understand in this day and age, technology could leave you behind, especially like my age. If I was teaching from the time I started teaching, when there was no computers and no phones and no nothing in those classrooms, to now, you've got Promethean boards and computers and, everything's on computer.
Yeah.
If you don't, but to me, it should be up to your school district to keep you up on those things and give you trainings on what they put in your rooms.
Right. But,
and they've left it up to the teachers. They have to have all these credits and stuff. And I'm like, they paid for their teaching degree.
Right. We're talking surgeons.
Yeah, but if they update something, then the school district should offer that to them,
Yeah. So there have these guidelines.
Same thing with the surgeons. What do they do though if they fail that? Then where do they go from
Well,
there?
that's the question. Now, like other countries, like India and China, they have a mandatory retirement already in place. So if you reach 65, you automatic retire.
Oh.
We don't have that here. You retire when you're ready to retire.
And I think most doctors would know when they're ready. They're either burnt out or they just don't, like you had a stroke and you can't do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Do you have some cognitive evaluations, I guess, that start? But they're asking, like, should we do a range of tools from like computerized tests that gauge memory, reaction time, hands-on evaluations of the prowess of the operating room. But I think you would know, people around you would know too, if hopefully you're not losing it while someone's on the table. But
yeah, I think people around you would turn you in if they thought you drop chiclets in the patients quite often or something. You know what I mean?
Well, that was a Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, I know.
What was that? It was a junior mint?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
It was a junior mint.
Yeah, and it went up in the air and...
Yeah, but I think the staff around you, because if you're in an operating room, you have an anesthesiologist in there. You've got the operating nurses. you've got, the attendants that, put the people on and off. Someone would notice if you're like getting senile,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he should be doing this anymore,
Yeah, I mean, I just think that we're getting to a point where, you want to trust the doctor, and you've been, especially a doctor that's been around for years, you probably put more trust in that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do you think, I never thought of it that way? Like, he's 68 years old. Is he still
your doctor, if you don't want him cutting pieces of your colon out if he's got shaky hands. I mean, you cut extra.
You go in and he's
extra
shaking.
12 inches could mean, you have a bag the rest of your life.
But it can also happen.
Because there's cells there that have to come out.
But what I'm saying is it could happen even to a younger doctor where,
yes,
things happen.
Yeah.
Accidents, that's a horrible accident to have happen, but it can happen. We've heard that's why they have very high malpractice, insurance that they have to have and stuff like that. It's astronomical. So yeah, it's I don't know. I just thought it was interesting that they came up with this idea of maybe testing. Maybe we should be testing for bus drivers. Maybe do they test bus drivers? Do they test?
Yeah, some of them.
As they get older.
A lot of our bus drivers are retired people.
But driving in this world today is
they
tough
retire
enough.
from something else, and then they drive bus part time.
Right. So yeah, what do you guys think about testing surgeons, or do you feel comfortable asking the question? How many have you done? When was the last surgery? Can I have the number of that person so I can call them to make sure they're still,
alive
and happy with what you did? Although there's, you talk about, we talk about surgery, but I see these people now, they're getting plastic surgery, and after you see them, these stars, now they get these, and you think to yourself, did you check this guy out before he messed with your face? Because something doesn't look right. And you've seen some of these stars and they pull their face back, and it's awful. I mean, it looks worse than just growing old.
More people are getting like calf implants and butt implants and stuff. And don't they realize that your body can reject?
Well, yeah,
that's why I think that's a lot of the reason why we have more like Hashimoto's and, all these autoimmune diseases and stuff. I think some of it's because, bodies are rejecting things.
Right. All right, so when we come back, we'll talk about the most expensive places to live in America, and we'll touch on some germs and
Hawaii.
That's probably on there. We'll talk about that coming up next. So you want to start a podcast, maybe you're listening to the show today and you're thinking to yourself, boy, that would be fun, and I have a lot of things I want to talk about. Maybe today is the day. Maybe you're looking for a new marketing channel, or you have a message that you'd like to share with the world, or you just think it would be fun to have a talk show. Now, it is a lot of fun just talking to your friends. Maybe you have ideas about sports, life, or whatever your passion is. Today's the day. Podcasting is easy, it's inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And where should you go? Buzzsprout. It's hands down the easiest, and it's the best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And your show, believe it or not, can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories in minutes, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and you wouldn't believe how many more there are. And they make it simple to join all of them. Podcasting is not hard when you have the right partners, and Buzzsprout is the team to join. They are passionate about your success. You can join over 1,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout. We're one of them. We've been on Buzzsprout from the beginning, and I'm so glad I joined up. I had a little bit of an issue, emailed a customer service rep, and they got back to me within 5 minutes, and they had me calm down. It wasn't that hard, and what I was doing was my fault. So here's all you got to do. Click on the link in the show notes. It tells Buzzsprout we sent you. You can support our show, and if you get a paid plan, you get a $20 gift certificate from Amazon. Now, here's some other things that Buzzsprout provides. Like, you get a great-looking podcast website. Now, a lot of people think, oh, I got to get a website, got to pay for that. No, you don't. They provide it for you. Also, they have audio players. Maybe you have a website. And all you want to do is promote your show on your own website. You can do that with their audio players. And you can also drop it into other websites and on Facebook or Twitter. And they help you do it all. Believe me, Buzzsprout is the way to go. They've helped me immensely, and I've had a lot of fun doing it. So maybe today is a day for you to start your podcast. And if you do, check out the link below in the show notes and get a $20 Amazon gift card. So if you had, well, I know the answer to this. I don't even know why I'm asking. If you could live anywhere, just, I'm not talking about expensive places to live, but if you could live anywhere besides where you're living now, where would you?
Any place warm.
So you're talking south or are you talking west?
South. I wouldn't. I would want to visit a few places. Like a lot of people say Colorado's a nice place to live. I don't know.
That's not warm though.
Not always. No.
No. They've got winters, like sometimes a lot more snow. We haven't had a lot of snow lately. But Colorado, if you had to go, if you got a chance to go, where would you go? Just south. Name is particular. Be specific.
I would
just
like
say
to
Florida.
Visit.
That's where you'd want to go.
I would like to visit. No, I don't know.
See, Florida's too hot in the summer.
South Carolina, maybe. Yeah.
I think it's just too hot in the summertime.
The Carolinas, I don't know. I wouldn't mind being a snowbird.
You mean going back and forth? See, to me,
missing the coldest weather up here.
Here's my issue with the snowbird
and the
thing.
family. I would miss my family up here.
Because my kid, I guess you get older, the kids get older. Maybe they don't want to do as much with you. It's kind of tough now because they're so little and they really look forward to seeing you, and
you really
they cry when you leave, and it breaks your heart because they're yelling, "I want to go to Pa's house," as he's waving at the window, and you're heartbroken because you've been there. The
last time I was there, he said, "Go bye in the car to Pa's house." Pa's house.
Oh, there's nothing better than that. And then he knows when it's time because he gets real clingy, and it's just
he knows when Mommy's
and I haven't seen him,
so
I miss him. The last time I saw him, we were in the hospital. So, and then I stayed overnight with him. Well, it wasn't overnight because he woke up all done, and let's go play. I'm like, I got an hour's sleep, it's okay, and then he was raring to go.
And now you know why I needed to go and spend the night the last time he was at the hospital, because his dad got an hour's worth of sleep and then needed to get online the next day and be at work.
But my point was the snowbird thing would be tough for me because I feel like I'd be missing out on certain times. We don't see them every day, but there's weekends where we've kept them and stuff. That's the part that I would miss the most. But I understand that.
Unless you could afford to fly them down and fly you up whenever anything's going on.
Yeah, and that's not cheap either. But we left with the most expensive places to live in America, and Terry did mention one place. And
is it number one?
These are the top 6. Do you know where? Hawaii, Honolulu, to be specific.
Honolulu, Hawaii.
Where do you think it came in 1 through 6?
It's either 1, 2, or 3.
Pick one.
I'm thinking Los Angeles. Something California might be ahead of it.
Well, if you say 2, if you would be more specific, but you apparently are really, it's 2.
Okay, so where is more expensive?
Do you want to name? Because you named
Los Angeles.
It's number 5.
Oh, Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. It's number 5 on the list.
San Francisco.
Number 3 on the list. I don't know if you'd get this one or not. They're all 3 of them. 3 of the 6.
Hollywood.
No, but it's San Jose, California, which I don't know if you got that or not.
Is number 1?
It's number 4.
Oh.
Number 6 is interesting. It's on the East Coast.
New York.
New York's number 1.
Oh, New York City is number 1.
It's number 1.
Oh, yeah.
Most expensive place to live. Number 6 on the list. So it's New York is number 1.
New York, yeah.
Yep.
Well, when we went to
New York City.
college, and Zachary wanted, well, I really want to live off campus. I'm like, you're going to live in a closet. I mean, and it's going to be dangerous to live there because you're going to have triple locks and whatever. And yeah.
Number 2 is Honolulu, Hawaii. Number 3 is San Francisco, California. San Jose, California is number 4. Los Angeles, California is number 5. And Washington, D.C.
is
number 6.
there.
And that's very expensive. And I know
and even
their housing is really expensive.
And even in the outskirts of Washington, D.C., some places, parts of Maryland, New Jersey, and Virginia that are drivable to Washington, D.C. within an hour or so, they're all real expensive to live there.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of people who work in Washington, D.C. or near there, they live in the outskirts of one of the, But like where Zachary was interviewed and he was looking in Virginia, it was a very high cost of living, but it was 35, 40 minutes from D.C.
Yeah. It's expensive to live anywhere anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's
right now.
Pretty kind of tough. Germinating germs.
Germinating germs.
Yep. It's hard. I don't know. You go anywhere nowadays, you see these sanitizer stations.
People still wearing masks. One lady came in with double masks on today, come through the office.
Yeah.
And it was hospital staff, so I wondered if she had a cough and she didn't want to cough.
Oh, she was on the staff, though.
She had like scrubs on, so I'm thinking maybe she had a cough or maybe she had a procedure done to herself and she was either protecting other people. Like,
what if she was in the operating room? I mean, she had a mask.
But she had a double mask. She had a paper mask and then another blue mask over top of it.
I mean, I don't know. But
I mean, she could have been. I mean, maybe she did come from the operating and wanted to see
there are people that wear
a
masks.
patient before she left or something.
I think people wear masks now just to cover up so they don't have to see anybody, so they get through the store, because that's what I would do. If I could still get away with it, I'd wear the mask and then I get in and get out. That's the idea. Not spend 4 hours at Gabe's. Someone I know who's retired spent 4 hours.
I saw a lot of people I knew.
Gabe's. That was her excuse.
No, I saw one person, and then I took 2 phone calls, and then I had a whole buggy full of stuff I was trying to sort out to see what I wanted to try on. And
now Miss Terry has probably, I'm trying to think. We have done some cleaning out, but I'm trying to think. This is probably too high, but at the time, I'd say 30 bathing suits. Before you bought some
more. Some
more.
of them
at
are
least
not going
30.
to fit me anymore, though, because I lost weight, so I've stretched the...
Would you say 30?
I don't think
We'd have to count
30. I know
there's a ton, and there's still more in the attic.
Now, do I have to count if I have one bottom and 2 tops to go with it, or 2 tops?
That counts as
2 bottoms and 1 top.
We'll do that 1.5.
Okay.
Because in that way,
I have a couple like that.
Yeah, you've got the mix and match. You do. That is true. But anyway, yeah, 4 hours.
But like last year, I didn't wear my wine suit at all because I think the bottoms were too big on me. So what I need to do is put a couple of them away and leave them in the attic in case I gain weight again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I'd still have something that I could get on. And then, But I do have 2 extra boy cut shorts that are small. So if I lose more weight, I'm covered right now. Because I couldn't find them last year. I could not find them at all last year.
Yeah, we're going to go through. We're going to count how many bathing suits she has. We'll do that.
I probably have 30 now.
We'll do that as our summer edition of Just Talking Out Loud. So these germinating germs, there's 7 common spots where bacteria are thriving. And it's not just doorknobs and your handrails. These are 7 common spots where you might never really expect.
Your phone.
But yeah, that's number 1. Where it's a hotbed for microbial life. These are germier places than the toilet seat. Actually, the toilet seat is really not that bad.
Well,
considering.
a lot of us spray it off and clean it often.
Yeah. So number one is your smartphone.
Or use a Clorox wipe on it.
When did you properly clean your phone? They are likely
Never.
a key source of bacteria enter the body. That explains my Bluetooth with all the bacteria. Kitchen sponges. This is bad. I know. On average, they did a study, and a kitchen sponge carries more bacterial species than a lab petri dish. So, what do you think about? What did you think they used to clean the petri dish? Well, they use a kitchen sponge. Yeah. Water bottles. Reused water bottles can contain mold and bacteria, especially if they're not washed thoroughly.
That's why I wish we still had the dishwasher for these.
I know. I wish we had a dishwasher too. Take that,
Just
Stanley.
because it would sterilize those better than what I can do.
This is something that I used to drink out of, and I will not drink out of anymore, is a fountain soda water dispenser. I don't drink out of them anymore.
You have to.
Well, this is one you just pull the lever. The little ones on this, like they used to have on the wall, and you'd have to. Schools have
like
them.
the schools.
The water fountain.
Is that really bad?
The water
I would
lines,
think it's not. The water comes up out of it.
Says the water lines from these things are usually teeming with bacteria. This includes salmonella and E. coli and some Dr. Pepper. Handbags. Number 5. Consider all the bacteria-laden items that get stored inside that bag, none of which are routinely cleaned. Think about that the next time you arrive home and plunk it on your kitchen counter. That's your handbags. So if you set it down in the store, set it down in the buggy.
See, and I try to hang it on the, like if I go to the public restroom, I try to hang it. But still, you know.
Well, we know you like to visit the public restrooms.
Yes. I don't like to.
Well,
I have to.
You seem to.
You seem to feed me and then take me to
You say,
Walmart.
Let's go out to breakfast. I didn't know it was going to run right through. We went out to, so we had Mexican. We go on anniversary, and I don't really care for Mexican, but I wanted to do something nice for my wife.
Yes, and I wanted fajitas.
She wanted fajitas. So I said, let's go to a restaurant that has fajitas. We ended up in El Paso. Food was good. I don't want to make it sound like the food was bad.
Wonderful.
The food was good. I just had what did I have? An enchilada.
You had an enchilada supreme chicken. It was
good.
Beef.
It was very good. But so we are done, and I thought we were going to do something else. And then she's like, you got to take me straight home. And we barely made it. So it ran right through her. That's that Mexican for you. If you need to clean out your bowels, I guess that's the way to go.
I had actually Hawaiian fajitas, and they had shrimp and
it was Hawaiian.
scallops, and they had pineapple, and they were good.
Don't forget the other ingredient that was in there, but it was burnt. What was it? Wasn't that in the fajitas too? Bacon?
Yeah, it might have been.
You sure it was bacon now? I'm starting to wonder. It probably was. Is Hawaiian fajitas. I'm sure there was some bacon. Because Terry loves bacon. We said that? We might be this might be the episode. Terry loves bacon. Yeah. Make her bacon sandwiches. She's there.
Yep.
Number 6, self-checkout screens. Of course, any kind of checkout screens, the computer screens. There's everybody's.
Yeah, like when we went to the VA with my dad, you had to put his social security number in, and then he had a ID number on his card, and that's how you checked in downstairs before you even went upstairs, and then they would call you.
Think about how many people touch those screens. A British investigation found E. coli on nearly all the surfaces tested. In addition, fecal bacteria and microbes that can lead to urinary tract infections.
Do people not wash their hands?
Were found on self-service screens. I'll remember that the next time I order at McDonald's kiosk and then I sit down to eat. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, because people don't wash their hands.
Apparently.
So in other words, use the kiosk and order your food, then go wash your hands and then sit down and eat.
I think what happens is you're using the kiosk. You say, okay, I want a Big Mac. And then you got an itch, right? And no one's around. You kind of go down a little bit further.
It's gross.
And you got your hand halfway down your pants because it's like, it's like a dog that itches underneath. He's trying to. So you just reach down in there and maybe it's just like maybe right next to your ball sack or something. It's like
You're gross.
itchy, and so you got to itch it, and then you go back to the screen, or maybe you lick your fingers first,
Ew, that's gross.
or you sniff.
You're so gross. You're so gross.
Because they make this deodorant now for remember that, what's that stuff called?
Mondo.
You're very good. Mondo for the undo. I mean, you can do it on your undercarriage, your underarms, and put it all over your Mondo for your.
It's for your privates
for
and
your
everything.
rondo. So anyway, that's the self-checkout screens. And finally, pets. Or I'm sorry, not pets. Pet toys. I say pets, but it's pet toys. Pets put them in their mouth. They also drink out of the toilet. They drink out of a puddle. You don't know where that mouth's been. They
Lick
obviously
themselves.
like to lick themselves. Plus, the toys come in contact with all sorts of surfaces around the home. Pet toys can be a source of coliform bacteria, yeast, and mold. And we expect our poor pets to carry these things around. Well, after this, I can see now that I'll be washing my hands 50 times a day rather than 25.
Well, that's like I said. If you have to order on a kiosk, you'll go and wash your hands up before you eat your food, won't you?
Yeah, most definitely. I don't want to be eating after I'm touching a kiosk. Can we do touchless? I don't know why we can't do touchless anymore.
Everything else is voice activated. I don't know why you couldn't say it. I want a number 2 with a Coca-Cola and,
Yeah,
an apple pie.
right. I don't know why that's so tough to do. Have you ever used slang words? You ever
Yeah.
use like slang words?
Yeah.
Like cold turkey, going cold. People don't like cold turkey. Going cold turkey. I don't know what the big deal is. Someone saying cold turkey,
I don't either.
but apparently
Means
some of
I'm
these
quitting.
slang.
I'm quitting right now. I'm just not having another one.
Some people don't like hangry because I'm really hangry. I'm hungry, but I'm also angry
Hangry.
because you're hangry. Got to have a Snickers bar. Some people don't like the word goat. The greatest of all time. They don't like that apparently. So they did this, the 20 most annoying slang terms. Goat was number 1. Hangry was number 3. I don't know what bay is. B-A-E? Bay? I don't know what that is. A lot of these I don't even use. Like I don't use Gucci.
Gucci.
Yeah. I don't know why they don't. Apparently though, if you use LOL in an email, it's okay. They don't mind that.
Oh, yeah. Laugh out loud. You use it all the time.
Yeah. So here's some of the annoying slangs. Goat, bay, hangry, Gucci, and ghost are the top 5. Fleek. What the hell is fleek?
I don't know.
I don't know what fleek is. Stussy. I don't know what these are. I've never heard of this word.
We're too old for some
is that
of
what it
these.
is?
I think as we're old, we don't have the young people's slang language.
Throw shade. TFW. It's got to be short for something, right? TFW?
I think I should know what that one is.
TFW. TMI. I know what that is. Too much information. TFU. No, I'm sorry, TFW.
Yeah,
not
TFW.
Sorry.
Well,
Well, I said FU.
I went FU. I
Sorry
was
about
like,
that.
hey, that one I should know.
Yeah, I know FU.
FU.
We used to say that in the hallway when we crossed each other. FU too. Totes. What's SMH? SMH. I should know that too. There are people screaming at us right now saying.
Oh, yeah, saying.
That means.
Okay, so get on the line and tell us.
Go on
get
to
on
SpeakPipe
and tell us what those are.
Yeah, tell me what SMH is.
Because we're just out. I'm not on email. Well, you know what? I never even checked my email for that exercise program lady was supposed to, and I've never even. When have I been home to even check it?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
When I've been home, I've been cooking.
Yeah, that's true. You have been. You've been cooking a lot. We're getting ready to cut this short and have some tort. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm. Chocolate tort.
Chocolate tort that Terry made.
I've been cooking healthy, though, when I've been home.
Yeah, you have.
Trying to, anyhow.
Yep. What else we got? I don't know. That's probably. Well, I was going to talk about lint. navel lint. That was going to be,
I was going to.
We were going to get some belly button,
lint for what?
Because they did a study on it.
And you can't find it?
No, I have it, but we'll just do it for next time.
Why?
And we'll do it when Zach's, because I want to have Zach and Sarah on. They got back from Vegas. I want to hear about their Vegas trip. And
they got back from Vegas, and I left for Florida.
Yeah, we already talked about your Florida trip. We got to get them on, talk about Vegas, and then maybe we'll have some people over to do this jelly bean thing. And I also want to do a peanut butter one. I want to buy a peanut butter and see if you know
which one, Skippy.
Because you
want to do Skippy,
Peter
Jif,
Pan.
Those are your
and
main
then a
ones.
Generic.
And
I want to do a generic.
A couple generics.
Well,
because I know Walmart has their own.
Yeah, good value or great value. Great value.
And maybe who else has Giant Eagle? Oh, I think
a dollar
has
store.
Maybe a dollar store one. Just throw it in there to see
we've done
how much
Aldi's.
different it is. Yeah,
we
or
have an
Aldi's. Yeah, or Aldi's or a dollar store or something, and see how much.
I want to see if we can get this right. Because I like my peanut butter. I was a Peter Pan guy.
The thing about it is the peanut butter won't go to waste because everyone has dogs and you could put a little bit of peanut butter in their bones and give it to them as a treat.
That's true.
If it's generic and you don't like it. Although if they're like a Nika, if it didn't say Lay's on the potato chip bag, she wouldn't eat them.
Yeah, she won't. Or you mean the Nika? Yeah,
Nika wouldn't. She wouldn't eat.
She was something.
If they weren't Lay's potato chips, she would just look at you like, well, what are you giving me that crap for?
Exactly. Put that back. Hey, we'll leave with this story. We'll leave with this one. Chips Ahoy. Chips, the chocolate chip, which now it's making me hungry. Apparently, Chips
cookies?
Ahoy, the cookies,
okay,
is changing their chips. They're unveiling a new cookie with better chocolate chips. Apparently, they're revamping the original cookie, known for its bright blue packaging. The company says the new version will look and feel the same, but an updated taste that features chocolate chips with higher cocoa and Madagascar vanilla will give it a more richer cookie flavor and a creamier chocolate taste, according to the company. The new improved recipe is coming out this month. So, but I heard cocoa was very expensive.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm wondering.
So it's going to go up a $1 or $2.
I'm going to have to wait till these cookies get old and go to Big Lots.
Yeah.
Or Gabe's. And that's how I'm going to be able to
afford
to see how they're any good. So, yeah. So Chips Ahoy changing their cookie. I don't know why, but apparently they feel it's time for a change. If they're still selling, who cares? Right? I mean, does it really make them?
Dunked in milk, so,
Yep. That make you hungry for cookies? Because I'm hungry for cookies.
No, I haven't been eating things
Me
like
neither.
that.
Well,
I've been making this, this tort has no flour in it, and it has no sugar in it, and that we're eating.
Should be delicious.
It was delicious last time we had
I can't say I didn't have cookies because you bought chocolate chip coconut cookies.
And I thought it tasted pretty good.
It wasn't bad. I don't even like coconut. It wasn't bad.
Coconut's supposed to be good for you, but when you put all the sugar,
you put it in with a cookie.
All the sugar, and I'm sure it's not.
No, I'm sure it isn't either. All right, that's it for this episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Every Monday we have a new episode. You can follow us on Facebook or Twitter at Just Talkin', TALKIN, out loud. And also, don't forget to use SpeakPipe. It's out there. Just it's a link in the bottom of our information.
Tell us the slangs we didn't know. We'll go, we should have known that one.
SMH and what was that, TFW?
And there was a couple other ones.
Or just say FU. I don't care. Just use the damn thing.
There was a couple other ones you mentioned that we didn't know either.
But yeah, I think I have a whole list of them somewhere.
Some younger people have to listen to this and tell us what they mean.
Yeah.
Ask your kids.
There's a link. Use SpeakPipe. You hit the button. You can do about a minute and put something on there. Or you can also leave us a message on YouTube for this episode. You can actually type it out in the bottom. If you want to do it that way, that's fine. I just have to learn to check it. That's my bad. There probably is there might be some things there that I missed. I just thought about it.
Messages though, but
it's on Facebook and stuff. Mm-hmm. So anyway, so don't forget to do all that. And thanks so much for listening. We are out.
Have a great week.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's show.